What's going on, Pisces? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having an exciting month so far. What now, Pisces? Depending on when you're watching this, like 10 days to your birthday season, but we're not there yet. We're still honoring Aquarius. But for those of you who are returning and who are just pumped, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just incredible, Pisces, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy how yourself has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. And Pisces, let me just tell you why. Because it is Celestial News Monthly. I was almost going to give you fireworks, but that's only for the birthday seasons. That's what I've decided on. So soon, Pisces. But before we get into all this monthly lunar shenanigans, monthly planetary shenanigans, I do just want to let you all know that I am, if you haven't heard, I'm open for private personal readings where I'm talking about the transits right now, so we can talk about where these planets are transiting in your placements, because Pisces, you are throwing a big old party. But you can see where these planets are lining up with your houses. If you happen to have your date, place, and time of birth, we can just talk about your chart in general, how you're working with yourself energetically. Are there some things that we've tapped into, or there's some things that have been running the show? Just kind of get some eyes on some things that are Pisces. Or if you just want to do a tarot card reading, I have links down in the description box for all that for you. Or you can find them on LinkedIn. Not LinkedIn. Instagram. That's the other one. Instagram. I have a link down in the description box if there's confusion. But I'm still getting on this technology kick there, Pisces. But yeah, you can check all that stuff out there, and I got to do some editing on that as well and do some other things. But also, Pisces, some other things you may have to do as well. Just be mindful of scammers. I'll never reach out to you asking if you want to do a reading. This will be something that you've reached out, whether you've scheduled with me or you've DM'd me asking some questions there, Pisces. So just keep that in mind. Now, Pisces, with this monthly spread, whenever the sun moves into a new sign, we're going to talk about where the planets are and how we can work with them energies. I'm excited for your season. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said there, Pisces, let's jump into it. Alright, Pisces, your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just wonderful energy all around here, Pisces. Now I have Zodiac Oracle cards with the signs that the sun and the planets are in. I'm going to pull a card from this deck for each one of them, and then we will get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, Pisces, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? I'm with it, Pisces. I'm very with all them, Pisces. We'll talk about that in a moment. Thank you, guys. But also, Pisces. Where was I at? Oh, and the decks that I'm working with. I've included links, and that's what happens when I go off script. I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that I like watching their Pisces. Definitely check them out. They're a very incredible group. I think you'd enjoy their energies that they bring. Also, there's a link for an astrologer that I enjoy watching. Link for a couple of podcasts that I've been really kind of grooving to. And then, can you groove the podcast? I groove the podcast. And then there are some links for some apps that I enjoy working with as well, Pisces. Some extra little tools for you to help navigate your astrological journey. But before we get into all this stuff there, Pisces, and this big old shindig you're throwing, there are a couple of aspects that I wanted to talk about. One of them actually is happening in your sign, so this is one to kind of look out for with your Pisces placements. But the first one is Chiron is going to be conjunct the North Node in Aries, which is going to be happening on the 19th of February. It's going to be happening at about 16 degrees, or at 16 degrees, and I don't have the minutes on hand there, Pisces, but check out your chart, and if you happen to know where you have Aries in your chart, kind of look around that 16th degree and kind of see where that falls, and there can maybe some clues in there as far as like what energies to be kind of contemplating on. Mine's happening in the ninth house, because that's where I have Aries, and I don't have any planets in Aries, but it can invite thinking about ways that I can challenge my beliefs in a sense. Or am I pursuing my beliefs? Are there some things where I need to broaden my horizons on some things? How can I heal through? It's very interesting how you can kind of get these questions worded, but the fact that this energy is happening in Aries is asking the things, where maybe we've been wounded in our confidence in a sense, where we may have made ourselves small, where we've had these big dreams, but something just keeps getting in the way. We let that fear, because the fear I feel like never really goes away there, Pisces, but I feel we learn how to utilize it as fuel there. And there could have been maybe some sort of experience where came in real strong, something happened, we had maybe a bit of a public embarrassment, or maybe we were told something kind of that bravery had been stifled or something along those lines. Or maybe on the opposite end, Pisces, maybe we're overcompensating for something, always feeling like you need to be in a competition, always kind of just asserting your energy wherever it feels the need to. And this is really to get just a very kind of, I feel, regulated sense of self. Find out is how you've been acting up until these points, these impulses that or maybe impulsive decisions that you've been making, or have they been for your highest calling or not? Have they been do they really fuel who you are, or is there something else that's fueling that, something that's needing some healing? Because Chiron is a wound that we never truly, heal, but learning to work with that, we unlock some incredible abilities with that there, Pisces. And so, and also too, when we're thinking about the North Node in particular, because there's always the North and the South Node are always dancing together, and those are the kind of points of fate there. And the South Node being in Libra, because they're always going to be in the opposite sign of the other, always opposites. But this could even see where we may have surrendered some of our, I just feel like maybe some of our autonomy, in a sense, where we've kind of let others kind of call the shots, or maybe where we've sort of like, maybe shrank ourselves in a way in order to accommodate somebody else there. And that is something with your energy, Pisces, that you can be, that on a lower expression, it can be this one that tends to sacrifice a lot, and a lot of signs do that. Listen, I have my sun signs in Cancer, so believe me. And but yeah, that's one thing to think about with this Chiron and Aries. So yeah, look again where you either have Aries placements, or if you have any cardinal signs, or any fire placements, or even any air placements. This energy could present to you at that 16th degree mark in any type of way. And then you also have this big old, this trifecta that's going on here, because the Sun, Mercury, and Saturn are all going to be conjuncting your sign on the 28th of February at about 9 degrees. So that's going to be a very interesting one there, Pisces, because I feel with it all happening in your sign, it really is kind of allowing you, I feel like, to really think very big, get really kind of imaginative as far as like, what dreams do you want to accomplish? Who do you think you're becoming? Where are these intuitive messages been kind of leading you? How can they apply for you? And then come in with that Saturn energy. The Sun and Mercury are kind of working out the who, and then Saturn comes through and gives the how it's done. This kind of puts our limitations there, not in a sense of like he's trying to cripple us, but it's like, all right, well, if you're going to become this rock star, we're going to need to get guitar lessons, or we're going to need to get vocal lessons, or we're going to need, there's work that's going to get done. I'm not just going to put you up on stage and allow you to just flounder. Saturn has our backs. It ultimately has our best interests at heart there, Pisces. So I feel this is one where we can really kind of get things aligned here. Take this season to really trust intuition and allow ourselves to just like start operating more like, okay, I need to do this, this, and that. It's just not all just going to stay, it can only stay in the head for so long there. And this could even be too where we may have noticed where we're escaping from responsibilities, possibly. I even feel this being an energy where yeah, it's just like I'm getting something where I'm just picturing you being on stage, going back to that stage analogy. I just picture you being on stage, Saturn handing you a microphone. It's like Pisces, all right, that's enough there. You've practiced long enough. Let's get out there and just start doing this thing. And whatever that thing is that makes sense for you there, Pisces, something I feel like could maybe click in this energy where it's just like, oh, maybe I can make this thing happen. So that's just one thing that's something to consider with this energy. Now, let's talk about your birthday bash, Pisces, because not only was I feel like the sun was invited, Mercury's been invited, the lovely Empress, Venus has been invited, and Neptune's made herself at home at this. She's been waiting to host this big bash every year since she's entered your sign, and then we got Saturn that just entered there not too long ago. But let's talk about the sun first there, Pisces, because the sun is going to be entering on. I'm trying to sidebar. When I go through and put the timestamp for these videos, I don't have any clear markers sometimes. So I'm like, we're just going to start doing that or something along those lines when I'm actually moving on. But a little behind the scenes for you there, Pisces. You probably already knew that. But yeah, the sun is going to be entering. Where was I at? Entering Pisces on the 18th of February. That'll be at about 11:13 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll be there through the 19th of March. And with this energy, Pisces, this marks the end of the astrological calendar year. We're at your sign where we take all of the wisdom that we've learned through each zodiacal phase, and how do we apply that wisdom? This is a time for us to kind of rest and really kind of because your sign is very introspective. And this is a time to really kind of go within and find, what are we taking from this? What were some points where we were really proud of the people around us that have been accomplished some things where you showed up in a great way there, Pisces? And again, however big or how small that's looking, what were some disappointments that came through there, some failures, and what do we learn from those failures? And how are we going to replicate more of the wins going into Aries season, starting the next month? So this is a time for you time for just like collective forgiveness, to find closure, to just do a lot of healing there. And this is a time, when your intuition, they already is super powerful there, Pisces, is just cranked, And one thing to be mindful of with this energy, though, is because now, that veil is a little bit more lifted now that we have all these planets entering your kind of nebulous energy. And there could be that tendency for escapism. I just had really an incredible meditation while I was getting ready for your reading there, Pisces. And so this is, I feel it can be a very, very wonderful time for water placements in your chart there. So pay attention to where you have these Pisces placements, because you're going to notice that it's just something's different there, Pisces. But then you have Mercury that's going to be entering your sign on the 23rd of February, and that'll be about 2:29 a.m. And then we'll be there through the 9th of March. And I like Mercury in water signs. I want to say some of my favorite placements are when I see Mercury in Cancer or Mercury in Pisces. Those are one of my two kind of favorites, just because there's this beautiful blend of intuitive energy and creative energy that's happening. There's still that logic, but it's that perfect, like if King of Swords and King of Cups were just like in perfect harmony. I feel like that's when Mercury's in a water sign. But this can be excellent for creative endeavors. There may be a challenge with kind of sticking to more things that require more precision or more logic, just because, again, we're in that sort of imaginative type of energy. But this is a beautiful time, Pisces, because like the boundaries between, like I was saying, like consciousness and subconscious, and the subconscious become more porous. And one to do a lot of like deeper, dig deeper into any sort of psychological patterns or anything along those lines there, Pisces. You know, that's the beauty of water signs, that introspection, that subjectivity, you know, and however that translates more into your chart, you can get a lot of growth from this energy, Pisces. I really am looking forward to your season. Then you have the, especially with the lovely Empress that's getting ready to enter there on the 11th of March at about 5:50 p.m. And it should be there through the 5th of April. Now, the reason that this is so just extra lovely for the Empress is because outside of Taurus and Libra, the sign she rules, she is exalted in your sign, Pisces. So she does exceptional in your energy. You know, you think the energy, that Venus is a great, you know, has this big love normally. I mean, your sign, I mean, her heart is just, that's like, that's unconditional love there. And considering that this is two Neptunes in Pisces as well, which is, and that's something how, just even, it's just poetry coming together here, Pisces. Because, you know, Venus has been talking with her higher octave, Neptune, in this tone, you know, when she comes through Pisces. And you know, they've been in this beautiful communication for a while. So this has been a time where we can make those, you know, especially during this energy where relationships become more compassionate. They can take on this more kind of spiritual and emotional type of focus there. Again, kind of heal some wounds, kind of understand this empathy where someone may have come from. We may not necessarily forgive what has been done, but at least we can, or excuse me, forget what things have done, but we could at least learn to forgive so we're not carrying that with you into this new season anymore. They don't need to be these shackles or anything along those lines. And creativity, again, is just really just through the roof. This is something where, you know, being able to channel your emotions through art, whether this is singing, this is poetry, this is dance, this is crafting, this is flower arranging, whatever this is looking like. This is a time to really get in, find many, you know, many mediums there, Pisces, to do some healing work, to understand others on a different type of level there. But Pluto's in Aquarius along with all this Pisces energy. This is a time to kind of reestablish the fostering some loves. I feel like there's been maybe a little tension with all the rifts, but maybe we can understand at least why these rifts and relationships were happening there. But one thing with Venus and Pisces is to remember also, like I was saying, not to sacrifice too much of yourself for the needs of others, allowing them that space to, and believe me, you know, that's something that you get with my sun sign being in Cancer. I've always loved being the nurturer, being the one that wants to find the solution, but sometimes you just need that you cripple the person in a sense, not giving them the tools to figure out how to process this thing. So this can be one where we just set some boundaries, or just like instead of jumping, it's this is something I've been trying to get into practice more. It's just like, well, what do you need from me right now, as opposed to what I think I feel you need. And then me going overboard. What do you need from me so that I can give that a healthy dose and we can meet somewhere in the middle there, Pisces. So then you have Saturn that's going to be, that's been in your sign since last year, the 7th of March. And it'll be there to the 24th of May 2025. Then he'll retrograde between your sign and Pisces, and Aries a little bit. Same with Neptune, but this has been a time to really kind of get more disciplined in our spirituality, and whatever that looks like. That doesn't mean you have to sit down and be in a you know, sit crisscross applesauce for like 30 minutes at a time. This is more so about maybe even taking 5 minutes, maybe a minute, to just do some mindful breathing, to connect back to the present. This could be making more time to do some cooking, possibly. Again, just I feel like being more mindful and intentional and bringing more awareness into your day-to-day, awareness of how we've been maybe even spending our time. Have we been in this sort of dreamy type of place with your energy, and now Saturn's coming through and is waking all 12 of your dreams. Hey, are you actually real? What are we doing? Get out. This is not a hotel. And closing some doors out. But I do feel there are also some doors that are being left open as well, because it's just like, oh, hey, How about, I love this. I love this concept. How about we reopen this one up? So this can be really a great energy for you again, Pisces, to really kind of get disciplined, get focused. Maybe there's that book that you've been keeping, starting up, that you got a couple pages. Maybe you only got the title written down. You know, maybe add a page, maybe a few sentences a day. Nothing, you know, Saturn doesn't need big gestures or big displays. You know, I feel like Saturn just wants proof of, he just wants receipts. Oh, okay, you got another sentence down? I'm with it. How are we feeling about 2 sentences? Oh, is that too much? Okay, well, let's get back to 1. At least this thing is growing. And then in the terms, maybe this will inspire you. But also, too, I feel this is Saturn kind of teaching us the boundaries. You know, when it comes to whether we're inserting ourselves into helping other people heal, you know, giving them the space to kind of be in some difficult energies, which in turn may put you in a difficult energy. I know it does for me, but then that allows me to observe that, and just for us all to be a little more observant, more aware of these sort of present emotions, and not to let it get to the state of overwhelm where we're just escaping all the time. Saturn's like, no, we need to face this stuff head on. So the things we've been escaping, let's get eyes on that. How do we feel about that? And if we're not feeling, you know, if we just want to keep going, Saturn's going to, I feel like, and this is not to scare you or anything, Pisces, but I feel like it kind of exacerbates some problems. You know, the things that we've been ignoring. It's like the tower moment that doesn't stop going away. It's like you get some peace and then tower. Get some peace, tower. You know, so just something I feel like to think about there. And then the last energy with Neptune being in your sign since 2011, and she'll be there until 2025, which of course she'll retrograde back. This is it has been a really beautiful time for you, Pisces, because we won't experience Neptune going through your sign again. You know, this is she's on her last cycle in your signage. I feel like this has been a very big call for spiritual awakening, to understand how that translates on you. You know, what you resonate as. You know, this is time for, you know, like star seeds and witches and monks and druids, and, you know, just like, and I know this is getting maybe a little mystical there, Pisces, but I do feel like it is remembering that inner magic, that foundation that we start with when we first, you know, before we disconnect from the wound and kind of come out there into this world. You will disconnect from, not necessarily disconnect from source, but having to find source again in this different realm. Is to remember that there is magic, that you are a powerful manifester, and that the power is not outside, it's within, you know. But we've created this really convincing illusion, and that's Neptune. You know, she's illusion, she's mystery, she's the fog, she's the needing you to trust something more than just what the eye can see. You know, our senses can be spectacular in what we can process, but there's that sixth sense as well there, Pisces, that gets quieted over the others, because the others are so immediate, whereas the sixth is more subtle, I feel like, until it really gets trained. So, you know, this is a great energy for you, especially you, Pisces, because depending on where your placements are at, this is forming a conjunction with your sign. And this has been, you know, especially if we're because Neptune's in the last decan of your sign, in those 20s now. So if you've had early placements of Pisces, you know, you've been feeling that intuitive touch. You probably have been getting more, maybe dream downloads. Maybe you've noticed your imagination has grown. Maybe you've noticed a sensitivity to the people around you. And, you know, this is an energy too, where it's just like, this is a time, again, to just trust something beyond yourself, but not to get lost into that. And I feel like that's where Saturn is coming through here, is to make sure that we stay grounded, remembering to do those sixth house things, those day-to-day routines, whether this is, cooking, make sure to nourish the body, making sure to drink some water when you're thirsty, when the body needs to move, maybe this is doing some yoga, maybe this is going for a walk, staying tuned to this vessel here, Pisces, because we chose to go through this human experience for a reason. So, and this is a great indicator of, just staying, getting yourself grounded with all of this transformation that is going on there. So, it's a lot to feel about there, Pisces. But let's go ahead and get into your first card here, which I love, and we were talking about towers, but you got the 16th card here, which is the achievement card. And I like this, Pisces, because this is a card of completion and reward. And the 16th card is tower energy, Mars. Now Mars, he's an Aquarius. We're getting ready to enter Aquarius here. Well, when this is coming out, yeah, he'll be entering Aquarius next week. But this energy gives me, Pisces, especially if we take this time to really kind of ground some endeavors that we've been wanting to do. Maybe you've been wanting to, again, start that screenplay. Maybe you've been wanting to make more time to start running. Maybe you want to participate in a race. Maybe you want to learn the guitar. Maybe you want to, whatever this, maybe you want to take up flower arranging or join a debate team. But this is, I feel like, an energy that's saying, like, let's get some little wins. Like, it's not that we're not focusing on the big picture here, but sometimes we can be so caught up in that we forget to keep things that motivate us towards that thing, to reward yourself when you really brought it there, Pisces. Like, man, I really had this, I really felt present during that conversation with my friend, possibly, I remember, like, we're just spitballing here, Pisces, or finally got that attic cleaned out there. And it's not like, I feel like we're doing reward for action with the expectation of doing things. This is just celebrating where you just kind of, this could even be like, ooh, all right, Pisces, you got up today. You got up today. You may not be feeling too hot yet, but at least you got up. It was easier today. That's an achievement, And then we just keep being better than we were 5 minutes ago, than we were 20 minutes ago, than we were yesterday, the year before. This, again, is a time to reflect and what kind of achievements do we want to set up for this coming Zodiac season? How do we want to kick this energy off, this Aries season? Because that's, that's a time where things get hot. And I like that. The energy we're talking about next, because Mercury is going to be moving there first to get us thinking about this stuff there. So, really, I feel like this is, again, a time to take a moment, and with the completion, too. I do feel like that there is something here about, like, getting some closure, possibly here, Pisces, with maybe some projects that we may have to close out there. This could be maybe even like a shift in something, maybe, and this doesn't have to be, Pisces, but maybe there's something where we're noticing like a career's not working out, or we need to do a shift, or just something here about something closing out, or making sure that we're even again, taking some time to celebrate some of these smaller victories here. But I mean, like a Six of Wands type of energy. But let's get some tarot on this, Pisces, and get some details. Pisces. Thank you, guys. Let's see what's going on here. Interesting. A lot of cups here, Pisces. So you have this intuitive energy. You have the Three of Cups, the Five of Cups, the Page of Cups, the Knight of Wands, and then the Temperance card here, Pisces. And Pisces, I feel with the Temperance card being here, I'm feeling for some that there's this, because the Temperance can be this merging of two opposing forces. And I feel like maybe for some there's this questioning of, maybe we thought we were going to be somewhere at a certain point somewhere here, Pisces, and we went with this fervor, we went with this passion, but I feel like this, and this is not everyone, but with this Five of Cups, it's like maybe we were met with this disappointment here, and I feel like that we felt like maybe we failed, or it's like something that we may have thought was for us may just not have been what we pictured there, Pisces. There may have been this sort of like idealized view of what we thought would be the reward or the achievement. Let's say, for example, you were moving up in a company, became a manager, and it's like you knew there was going to be more responsibility, but no one's getting along. There's so many like varied emotions that we're dealing with, in a sense. There's this something's just like really throwing you out of balance, and it's like we're having troubles integrating the two together. I do feel like it's not a looking at it like excuse me, like a Five of Cups, like a loss or like a defeat or anything like that. More so it's trying to see it as a lesson, where it's like, okay, because we did learn something from this. I'm not saying that we're just like not feeling this or feeling beat down or anything, but it is more so like all right, well, that happened and that sucked, but how did I grow from this? Because what we learned not to do X in this situation. There knew that I will never do blah 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 blah. That I need to do this if I'm going to do that, and it's just like then we could use this as a different type of fuel there to get more in line with where we're maybe meant to be there, Pisces. And I just feel even for some. I'm even getting with this Five of Cups, it's just like maybe there's some Pisces who could just really use a win, in a sense. And this could be maybe even just like going out with some friends, or maybe even just being out amongst some people, possibly and Pisces, if this is something where you feel like you need a win, what I'm trying to get across is I feel like I guess you would find this at like a sport events, but it's like if you get invited to somewhere where maybe someone's like receiving like an award, or maybe maybe go seeing some sort of sports team where someone else is being celebrated, where we need to be where we're it's not where the focus is not just on us, we're channeling our energies differently. I just feel like that could lead to some sort of perspective shift for some, in a way, if you're kind of hanging with me there, Pisces. So, and last thing, that's even interesting, because I feel with this Three of Cups, Five of Cups, in your wins there, Pisces, just kind of be mindful of those who I feel are just there for you when you're just in that victory state, and not, can't be found when you're feeling in this disappointed state. And not that we're necessarily just leaning on them, but making sure that there is that reciprocity there, that equal give and intake there. But all right, Pisces, I think I'm gonna leave that there. I like that. All right, now let's talk about Aries, because you have Mercury that's going to be entering Aries on the 9th of March, and that'll be at about 11:03 p.m. and will be there through the 15th of May. And why so long, you may ask? That's because Mercury's just going to decide to go retrograde on the 1st there, Pisces. But we're not going to talk about that yet, because we're still in your season. And honestly, I think that I'm kind of excited for that one, for that Mercury retrograde. I know how that may sound, but you'll understand a little more next month. But with Mercury being in Aries, I just feel like this is like, it's not necessarily the rocket taking off yet. I'm picturing that it's just like we're adding this fuel to the rocket. We're getting all the schematics kind of pieced together there with Mercury, because that's how we process things, how we perceive, how we said that it's taking all these pieces together there and starting to piece them all together, really like building that big picture there, Pisces. And then when it gets to Mercury, then we feel bold enough to start that first step. It's like, okay, let's do this thing first. Like let's just kind of give that some go, and maybe start up a couple of things. Aries is one that I feel like they're always kind of on the move there, but I feel like this is you putting your art and whatever that looks like in motion, whether this is be starting that new hobby, starting that workout routine. Maybe you're putting on like a different, like a diet where we're eating more, so kind of like these, being more mindful of foods, maybe cutting out like fast foods and things like that. Or it's just, I feel like it's just like the mind being reinvigorated. It's like I'm just picturing this wake up call kind of for the soul tribe. Like it's getting this new, after going through this dreamy energy. It's just like, okay, now that I got to go through that dream, this is what happened. So this could be it. I feel like between this transition of Pisces into Aries for Mercury, really kind of write your stuff down, kind of map this stuff, especially during your time there, Pisces, when Mercury's in your sign. Because then I feel like Aries brings that passion to it. It makes us like, where it's like, we don't have all the pieces, but we'll figure this out as we go. Then we have the confidence and the boldness to do so. And I still feel, though, that we're still kind of getting out of that, again, that sort of nebulous sort of energy. So I feel that things that require any sort of like patience, or any sort of like structures or things, could potentially hinder in a way. Just because Aries is one that can be, again, a little more like ready to, when it's time to move, like they're ready to move like right now. So, in things that maybe require a little plan, like it's just like seeing the immediate things that we can get off the ground there, Pisces. That makes sense. But let's get an oracle on this. Oh, interesting. Thank you, guys. So you have the balance card here, Pisces, which is a card of centered energy and self-care. And I feel like this is really kind of nice there, Pisces. I feel this can be a time for you, especially if this has been, like kind of a, think about from what's gone on from Aries season last year to this year. And, this has been a time where we've needed to learn to be a little more mindful of self-care, not even just physically, emotionally, and how that can translate in the body, physically, how that can translate emotionally, spiritually, how that can translate. You see the trend, just doing this really kind of holistic kind of check-in, so that we can get our energy centered. I feel like especially during your season, this can be a time to really kind of get things in alignment here, really find, because I like that you got this balance card here with the temperance, because temperance is finding that balance. And I feel like it's getting to that like work smart, play smart type of things, like incorporating these intuitive spiritual practice in your day to day, doing these like cleansing routines or whatever that's looking like, there, Pisces. So, and I like this centered energy with that Mercury in Aries, because I feel like that's kind of what that energy is. It can be very centered, very focused, if channeled in the right place. I feel like this is one where, coming from a very, very balanced approach, making sure that we've thought about this. Maybe if we get this idea, we kind of sleep on this thing, see what kind of comes up there, and then get this, as the downloads come in, as things start. It's interesting, because I feel like it's like you're going to start making these instinctual type of moves there that I feel Aries is, can be attributed for. But let me get some tarot on this there, Pisces, and get some details. Pisces. Let's see what's going on here. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. So you have the Seven of Wands here, Pisces, the Chariot card, Cancer energy, and the High Priestess here, which is the Moon, who rules over Cancer. And that's very fascinating there, Pisces, because this is kind of what I was feeling, like this instinctively knowing when to make your move there. That's kind of what this centered energy is feeling like. But I feel like these next decisions that you're getting ready to make here, you know, making sure that they do come from a balanced place. We've taken moments and kind of processed where we may have let ourselves down, and knowing that failure does not define who we are. That may have been where we made a mistake, but we're growing from that there, Pisces. And I feel that there is this sort of need here to definitely get in the practice of of protecting your energies with the Seven of Wands, being mindful of when we may be taking on too much, or where maybe we have these sort of like, that being an example of kind of fair weather friends, but yeah, I guess that would make sense. But just being mindful of that, or even where I feel like it's like even where, because there may be for somewhere you may be told to push in a sense, where it's just like, oh, Pisces, you're just being this, or you're just, you know, maybe you're whatever, this, like trying to imply like this weakness or something like that. And it's just like, no, you know yourself better than anybody else does, Pisces. And I feel like if something is telling you that you need to rest, or that you need to remove yourself, or there's just something's not feeling right, you know, for you, don't feel pressured by whether to do something here. But I do feel though that too, that there is something here where I'm feeling some intuitive sort of nudges there, or something going on there, Pisces, that are wanting you to get getting that focus energy and get some stuff started there. We may be concerned that whatever this is may have to go under some scrutiny, whether this be a project you're pitching for your job, or maybe this is, or a sales pitch you're pitching for a client, or maybe this is giving some sort of presentation. But I feel that it's like not letting that fear, because it's going to need to happen. You know, you can play out how something can go 1,000 million times in your head, and it may not go exactly. It usually doesn't go how we usually can dream up there, Pisces. So and I do also just feel too that just with how the Chariot, you know, just Chariot can go, go, go. Again, just making sure where we, you know, just like with any sort of like vehicle or anything, you know, we're not just gonna run it till it runs out of gas. We gotta stop. We gotta fuel it up. Sometimes we gotta take it in for an oil change. Sometimes we gotta get it cleaned up. You know, whatever that's looking like. So, you know, just make sure to take care of this vessel there too, Pisces. So, all right. I think I'm going to leave that there. All right, Pisces, next order of business, we have Aquarius energy. And we happen to have Mars that's going in. My dates have been a little wonky there, Pisces, so I finally got everything corrected. But I had noticed that, like, I was thinking about Mars the other day, and I was like, wait a minute. I'm pretty sure I told Mars, first I started with Leo and Cancer, and I did it with Mercury. And I'm like, okay, I got everything caught up. And then I noticed Mars, it was just like a typo. And I was like, it's been a busy week. But Mars, depending on when you're watching this, is going to be entering into Aquarius, and Pluto has entered Aquarius, is getting settled in. Granted, he's going to retrograde one more time back into Capricorn. I want to say around, like, it's either Virgo or Libra season. I'll have to double check that one. But he'll be doing one more check-in with Capricorn before he's officially settled in. But let's actually start with Pluto there, Pisces, because Pluto's going to be there. He first made his retrograde into Aquarius on the 23rd of March last year. and he'll be there until about March 2043. Probably will do some retrograde shenanigans. I would imagine. Yeah, probably will do some between your sign and Aquarius. But the reason that people been talking this one up so much and that this is such a big deal is just because that, again, Pluto doesn't move that often. The last time that Pluto was in Aquarius, there was a lot of big revolutionary energy coming on, and I do feel like there is a lot of that coming on, but I feel like it's the part of that is there's this rebellious side of us that is trying to unlock their Pisces, because Aquarius is that quest for that perfect sense of individuality, that even in the face of adversity, in the face of everyone not agreeing with them, saying they're disappointed, all of this stuff, under all this scrutiny and things, that they still remain themselves, that they don't lose themselves in this, because that sense of genius is to be able to think in a way that no one else does, and that's what that genius is, and that's what Aquarius brings. But this, I feel like, it's like kind of asking us, like, in what ways have we kind of gotten lost in the herd, in a sense, and how have we maybe compromised ourselves, our uniqueness, in a sense. Because the best way that we can show up for the soul tribe is being our authentic self. We are a unique expression of source. If we were all meant to do the same thing, that'd be very boring, Pisces. So I feel this Pluto in Aquarius is really going to bring to light a lot of things, like a lot of areas where we may have given our power to. And I already kind of noticed this in a lot of relationships and things, whether this be in corporations, whether this be in friendships, whether this be in, it's just, things are changing, and I feel like this is a lot of stuff is being brought up, a lot of frustrations, a lot of things that have been repressed. And so I'm kind of, I feel like, kind of nice that Pluto's just now kind of freshly entering there. All the personal planets are kind of making their high five with Pluto with this go round while it's going into your season, because this, again, I feel like it can kind of soften that first where people were just maybe a little outraged in the Aquarian type of energy. But this is going to be a revolutionary one, and this is going to society. When Pluto moves and the outer planets move, they're generational planets, and this is something where we're going to see in this generation that's coming in with this Pluto in Aquarius, what they're going to accomplish. I mean, it's going to be something incredible. So, also, this could herald some really profound changes in how we interact with technology. Just take it as it resonates. This is an interesting kind of theory, but Aquarius deals with outer space and things. So, I've been working with ChatGPT, and I'm convinced that some sort of alien technology is really kind of fascinating. I've been kind of loving it. But what else there for you, Pisces? I'll just leave that there. Definitely just kind of, yeah, I feel like that's a strong one to end on there, Pisces. And then let's talk about, let your imagination run wild. But then we have Mars that's in Aquarius, and we'll enter on the 12th of February at about 1:05 a.m. And then we'll be there through the 22nd of, did I say of March? 12th of February through the 22nd of March. And with this energy, I feel that, especially depending on when you're watching this, Pluto and Mars, and this is something I probably mentioned with the rest of the signs too coming up, that, Pluto is the higher octave of Mars, and again, Pluto's going to show us where we may have kind of sacrificed our individuality or given up our sense of freedom, and then Mars is going to want to reclaim that. Now our actions are going to be geared towards that. Again, there's that rebellious energy that's kind of coming through there, and Mars and Pluto haven't spoken in this language in a while. So, just be mindful of like aggression and things as we're going through this energy. As those two form, that conjunction could be potentially a volatile energy. But, this is one where we can also, too, start to process our energy in a more innovative and kind of unconventional way. Because even when you think about energy, and this may be a little abstract, but it's not quite, I feel like it's not just about that physical type of energy. This can be, and then we're getting more so into kind of like the Mercury realm a little bit, but this can be some of that vitality can be geared towards how we think too, you know, how we approach different stuff, you know. And that's actually not too far off because Mercury is the higher octave, or excuse me, Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury, or Uranus. You get what I'm saying. But this can be a really great energy to have these sort of like debates as far as like the future, you know, about what's possible, what's not possible. And this could even be one too where we may feel like we want to take more kind of actions towards like maybe volunteering possibly, you know, like getting involved in our community a bit more. How can we better change the world? How can we show up in a stronger type of way there? Or do we still remain in the status quo or something along those lines there, Pisces? So yeah, just could be a lot of maybe the external and even just kind of like internal things that are coming up for you there with this Aquarius energy, kind of get you riled up. But let's get an oracle on this, Pisces, and get some details. I'm gonna light my candle there, Pisces. Oh, interesting, Pisces. Okay, hold on, let me light this candle. Thank you, guys. Alright, and you have, Pisces, the relaxation card, which is a card of peaceful pursuits and happy times. And considering that you got this centered energy and self-care too, Pisces, I do feel like that it is, take advantage of your birthday season. Do some creative pursuits with Venus being in your sign, with the sun, you know, Mercury, just Neptune, especially Neptune, still being there, your modern ruler for a little while longer. And it's not like when she gets out of there, this energy goes away, but just while it's really potent, you know, getting in the practice of this stuff, doing some more kind of peaceful pursuits, making some times for some leisure, for some happy times. You know, this, you don't have to be in this place where you're just always grinding, focusing towards the next achievement all the time, because what's the point of achieving stuff if you don't take a moment to celebrate in that, to really properly enjoy it, if we're always just on the move there. So, and that might be something that's a little uncomfortable maybe for some people. And this doesn't necessarily mean that you need to just take time and just kind of kick it in a hammock and just not do anything to sort of veg out. But I mean, just do something where we're not so strenuous. And I like that it came out with Mars being in Aquarius. Do things that you like, you know. And if your first answer is work, I was like, well, what's a different type of work, you know, like working on your house can be, if you know what I mean. We can channel that a little more constructively there, Pisces. So yeah, just making more time to just like for you to get in the flow of things, whether that be a nice conversation, or this is reading a kind of cuddling up with a nice book, or maybe going for a swim, or maybe kicking it in nature, or maybe this is working with animals, or whatever this is looking like there, Pisces. But let's get some tarot on this, get some details. That's very kind of like Four of Swords type of energy coming in there, Pisces. Pisces. Okay, guys. Let's see what's going on here. Alright, so you have the Six of Cups, the Knight of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and the Magician here. You know, I feel this Ace of Wands, especially if you've been maybe feeling like you have a lot of like I'm just picturing this like antsy energy that's going on, and maybe for some maybe there's this, maybe you have Aries placements possibly that's just been maybe getting riled up by this Mercury transiting through Aries here. But I do feel that this Ace of Wands here is just being kind of mindful with just always being on this go all the time, because the Knight of Swords is this very fast moving knight, and just I feel like never takes the time to just kind of just reflect on his past accomplishments, or it's just looking towards the future and not appreciating the things that the past has brought him, the happiness, and sharing in that experience as well there, Pisces. So I feel this is just taking this time. You've been in this sort of like heightened manifestation energy, finding different outlets, I feel like, to work with this magician energy. I just feel like this keeps you in a different type of flow there. Even before, I feel like I'm feeling really this kind of bond here between the magician and the moon being here right now. Like, you really kind of creating from this very, it's a beautiful place, Pisces. I just hear like this, like these whale sounds, and it's just like the universe is communicating with you in this different way. Like, you even just like maybe even like jotting down. I feel like, because I feel like I mentioned this with Pisces energies, like even jotting down your dreams if you happen to be an active dreamer, or even just taking a moment before you just like even get on your phone and do all this stuff. Just kind of be in the energy for a second, kind of process where your mind had taken you the previous evening, and But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave that there, Pisces. I like that. Let's get into this last energy, which is Taurus. Because you got Jupiter that's in Taurus, Big Papa, your other ruler, and then you have Uranus that's in Taurus. Now, Jupiter is going to be in Taurus until the 25th of May. And I feel with him still having just like a few more months before he moves into Gemini, I feel that this is kind of looking at because he entered into Taurus last year on the 16th of March. And I just feel like this is a time to just kind of track your process. We're almost at the end of this year cycle with Jupiter being here. And how has this brought luck, or how have you maybe invested in yourself? Whether this be in actual money, maybe this has been in property, maybe this has been in education, some sort of like courses, maybe you're just like, how has what you've reaped been worth what you've sown, or have we been more so working with more sort of like instant gratifications and things? Because that's nice for a spell, to get those kind of dopamine hits and kind of go through there. But Taurus is about long term, and just taking that abundance that Jupiter has and making that stretch indefinitely. Keep having your money work for you in a sense. And yeah, this, I feel like, is a time to just kind of evaluate over what we've learned, and maybe we didn't do any sort of saving or investing in things. Maybe you may have spent a little bit more than you wanted to. Temperance, this could find out where we've gotten out of balance, because again, even when the energy is gone, that doesn't mean that we don't get a chance to keep reflecting on it. That lesson doesn't just go away. That experience stays there. Pisces, 6 of Cups, that's a memory that's there. The body remembers, and I feel that if things haven't been, if things got a little out of balance, maybe we've put ourselves in a tricky place. How do we re-divert this energy? We may have had some disappointments, but we may have given up for a spell, but you can get back on that train, get back on that chariot whenever you feel you're ready there, Pisces. But I do feel like it's something where I'm just getting, for some, we may need to have something to face here with this Jupiter and Taurus. And that doesn't have to be ominous. It's something I feel like if it's not going to just come out of nowhere. This is something we would have been noticing for a little while there, Pisces. So, and I also feel too, this energy can be about returning to simplicity, appreciating the simple things in life, because Taurus is you know, and it's not to say like Taurus can't appreciate like high tech things and all this stuff like cities and whatnots, but Taurus is it's this very sensual sign. You know, it's Taurus is an energy that, you know, enjoys what it built with its hands. You know, and the things that, you know, the home, your kids, your, you know, just all the things that Taurus, I feel like, wants to get to this place where they want for not, you know, just like in this real kind of peaceful type of energy. So it's like thinking about the things that bring you peace as opposed to being in that constant striving for more. You know, how do we find celebration in what's already abundant, and even outside of this, even this stuff here, Pisces, you know, where we came into this world, we were given this nature, this air, this water, this, and granted, it's been monetized and whatnot, but still gifts there, nonetheless. So, and then we have Uranus, that's been in Taurus since about 2018, and will be there through the 7th of July 2025, and he'll do some retrograde shenanigans too. But this has really been kind of challenging what our values are as a society. You know, how we engage in materialism and consumption, and you know, this has been challenging people to get like comfortable in flexibility and in change, and kind of redefining what it means to be safe, secure, and comfortable. That this is something that you have to find from within. This is not really something that you can look outside of yourself. And I'm just not even thinking about just like as far as like a job or anything like that, starting up your own business, because there are risks in all of that. But I feel the biggest thing with this Uranus in Taurus is, you know, thinking about like again that self-worth, because it all starts here, Pisces, with this vessel. We have all the tools that we need within us. And I just feel that there's this, just looking at where we may have given ourselves freedom to, or given away again our freedom to with this, because Uranus is, you know, the modern ruler of Aquarius. And so it's kind of, I feel like, wants to take us out of some comfort zones in a sense, you know, get us used to like, hey, you know, I know that you know, this is where you've been liking to do, but this can be gone tomorrow. What would you do? You know, how have we set up, like, what is your rainy day? And again, that's not to say that the things are going to happen to you, Pisces. But I mean, it's just like, look at what changes have happened since 2018. I mean, people have gone through layoffs. You know, people had to change over businesses. Some places didn't make it through COVID and had to do like all these stuff there. Like, there are some harsh things that where we thought they would be there forever, they're not there anymore. And it's just like, how do we fill in that space then? You know, how do we find that sense of peace again within ourselves? Because we can't react or change things without us, or things outside of ourselves, but we can control how we react to the changes that are going around us there, Pisces, and be adaptable with that, and then follow suit with what actions that we take. You know, they don't have to be where something defeats us. They can be disappointing, they can be crappy, but they don't have to be where they defeat us. So, and this could also too, considering that Taurus deals with environments and things. There could be, you know, things can coincide with, you know, sudden environmental changes, natural disasters, groundbreaking discoveries. Actually, just where I moved from, they was talking about their hurricane season again, and how this El Nino was going to be because they had a pretty mild hurricane season this year, but who knows what that might be looking like next year. It's like, you know, we got to be mindful of this home that we're on. But also, the lovely thing about this, Pisces, though, is that depending on where your placements are at, this is forming a sextile with your sign. And sextiles are very easy-flowing energies. There's something where they're kind of like the aces. They're potential. Either we do something with them or we don't. But they do create opportunities, kind of make things moving a little bit more. So it's like, what is it that you know, like, what, again, thinking about what it is that you value. You know, how do you show up? You know, how do... It's almost like, if you even feel like just like there's a self-respect energy that's coming through with this with this Taurus, with this like Uranus and Taurus type of energy. But let's get your last oracle card here, Pisces. Alright, Pisces. I'm with it. Alright, thank you guys. So you have your eternal spirit here, Pisces. And this card is about higher self and sacred intuition. And you know, I do feel with all the distractions and things, Pisces, that have been going around, that we have forgotten to kind of tune into this, to our bodies. And I feel like I love that this popped up with Taurus, because Taurus is, again, a very sensual sign. They feel, they're the most physical sign of the zodiac. And they feel, to a degree, these senses, I feel like, stronger than the zodiac, and I feel that this is a tuning into those senses again, where we've become numb to the body. I almost feel like there, because I mean, you got the High Priestess with this sacred intuition here. Like, I feel like this conduit is, or this vessel is a conduit to your higher self. Higher self speaks through you, through this. Well, or how do I want to put this? I feel like it's more so that we've come to wanting to like please all of these senses, like overindulge here with the Temperance card, that we've forgotten our higher self in a sense. How I was saying that sixth sense has become this more sort of subtle thing, that this muscle that we have to retrain again, build this trust in such a dense space. But I do feel that this is learning to listen to your intuitive guides there, Pisces. We all have them, and I feel like it's how do you connect to source? What does that look like? Getting in touch with your internal spirit, being more present. There's this awareness, just moving intentional with this energy, taking more time for self-care, recharge your batteries, your energies. But let me get your last tarot cards here so I can get you out of here, Pisces. Alright, thank you guys. Let's get these last few cards here, Pisces. Alright. So you have the 8 of Swords, the 2 of Swords, the 3 of Swords, the 9 of Cups, the 8 of Wands, the 7 of Pentacles, and the Devil here, Pisces, Capricorn energy. And let's switch back over. Because I feel with this energy, Pisces, where are we starting? Let's start this 3 of Swords. Because, that was a little aggressive. But Pisces, I feel there is some sort of hurt that is going through here. That there's some things that have maybe happened that we've carried with us for however long. And this 2 of Swords, I feel like, is kind of deciding whether we're going to cut the ties with this, or are we going to bring it along with us, or what are we, because maybe there's even, I feel like, something that we may have to face with the 3 of Swords, and we're not liking the idea. And that's one kind of segment here with this energy. It's just like, I feel like instead of like drawing this out and escaping this thing, Pisces, if something is nudging, because I had to do something similar. Oh, I didn't have to, but I did something not too long ago where I would have liked them to have made the initiative, but I was like, you know what, I think that's what I've always done. Let me try doing something different. And I took an initiative and just gave it a try. And granted, I haven't gotten an answer back, but I did get that off my chest. I said what I needed to say. I felt like it was something healthy, just kind of get it out the way, as opposed to dragging something out and keeping yourself kind of locked up with what could happen. What, this could go this way, go that way, go the other way. So, and then we're creating this strange vibration that may not even be what it is, but that's how we're coming into it. So that's one energy that's coming through here, Pisces. But I do feel there is something here that is keeping you from making things moving faster here, Pisces. Take stock again with the Seven of Pentacles of the things that you've been investing in. And I just don't mean in just ways that we've invested in ourselves. Are the things that we're doing, promoting, getting us closer to that achievement? You know, is this really what we've wished, what we've dreamed of in a sense? Or because I feel this Eight of Wands is giving me this energy. It's either some things are about to pick up the more that we listen, and for everyone, the more that we listen to our intuition, because that is a choice. You don't have to listen to your higher self or anything along those lines. And that's not to say you won't have a great life, but it's just like, could there be more to it if we were to be more in tune with our true calling there, Pisces? You know, there's always, I feel like, that sense for more, but everyone's journey looks different. And I say that with all the compassion there, Pisces. You know, it was like that scene from The Matrix where it's just like, I know it's not steak, but it tastes so good. You know, we've all been there, Pisces. And I do feel though that we don't all need to stay there. You know, with the devil, I feel like this is getting a kind of a grip on the chariot there. You may not know exactly how to drive this thing full-heartedly, but at least now the chariot's not driving you anymore. You know, there's this presence that I feel like it's happening there, paying attention to maybe some sort of like impulses or whatever this may look like here, but because I feel like even with the Eight of Swords, it's like somehow we've boxed ourselves in from our higher selves, you know, from our true calling, and just like something I feel like has been interfering with these waves that are kind of coming through here with and I feel like that's what Saturn's kind of coming through there with you, because you chose this, Pisces, this Pisces energy to have these certain spots in your chart activated during this time. This was intentional, you being born during this, however you may be processing this. So I do feel like that it is, there's something higher calling here for you, Pisces, something that's trying to connect on a deeper level. So, but I hope that made sense, Pisces. I feel like yours has been getting, and I've been kind of with it. I've been very with it, talking about your kicking it in the metaphysical realm there, Pisces. But if anything resonated with you, if you like that, Pisces, give it a thumbs up. And share this, Pisces, if you know someone who's been, I don't know, been mindful of their energies. Because there's a big thing with that, Pisces. Mind your energies. Like, really kind of be, like, pay attention to how like learning to shield yourself from negative energies, whether this is starting to do some crystal work maybe, or just like doing some smudging or some cleansing sage or whatever that's looking like there, Pisces. Share that, absolutely. And learn to appreciate those small little victories there, Pisces. And then subscribe there, High Priestess. Powerful, intuitive. Hit that bell button to get notified when I release videos each. Well, now it's probably going to be each month there, Pisces, because with these personal readings now, my schedule is getting a little bit more booked. So on this channel, I'm going to be doing mainly the monthly and the yearly videos, because I love Celestial News Monthly. I love Celestial News Monthly. But what I may start doing is like maybe these, and the idea is still kind of forming in my head, but I may just start doing just like talking about transits that are affecting us collectively. They're going to be like way shorter videos, just something to keep feeding the creative beast, you know, that I'm putting out videos, but I'm not just overstretching myself, being mindful of my energies there, Pisces. So yeah, just something to just be aware of there, but that'll be the only change there. Also, speaking of the personal readings, the links for that are all down in the description box, so definitely check that out. And then last little bit here, Pisces, you know, that was real cute of you, getting both our ruler, Cancer's ruler, my sun signs in Cancer, but getting Cancer's ruler and Cancer's card, because I have a whole channel devoted for that. Or I'm getting ahead of myself. If you have any Cancer placements there, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, maybe Mercury, depending, because you may not be your sun sign may not be in Pisces, you know, but Come on over to the Chariot and Friends. I do videos and however you resonate with Cancer. We all got Cancer in our placement somewhere. Mine's in the 12th house cusp. But yes, I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans, and I do tarot card spreads based off what sign she's in, what phase she's in. And it's a great old time there, Pisces. And yeah, I feel Cancer and Pisces do have some similarities there that, as far as being this. Yeah, it's very interesting there, Pisces. I do dig your energy. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get you surprise cards here, so I can get you out of here, Pisces. I'm with it. So you have the King of Wands here. And the King of Wands, he's one. He's got a mammoth amount of energy that he's working with. And he's just not going to utilize that all in one space, or not unless it matters. So I feel like if we're going to pursue something and put a lot of energy into it, there's Pisces, I feel like it's making sure that it is something that is fulfilling you as well. When I think about this, doing like the tarot and astrology and things, I don't wake up thinking, oh, I have to do this stuff. It's like, no, I am enjoying what I'm doing. It's just like, and if I do feel where it is getting a little bit too much, it's like, oh, maybe I'm working this too hard. Maybe I'm doing this too hard. Maybe I can ease up this. Or it's because maybe I'm spread too thin in a different type of way. And it's like, I feel like I can be more intentional, I feel, with the King of Wands, moving with more wisdom, with more control, with more purpose, as far as like, oh, when I do this, there's going to be this this really massive payout. In a sense, it's going to be all worth this in the end. So, but yeah, Pisces, let me get your other oracle card here, so I can get you out of here. But yeah, Pisces, I feel like especially for the water signs and the earth signs, this is going to be very intuitive. I feel like a very, very potentially healing energy for all of us there. Thank you, guys. Just gotta learn to surrender there first there, Pisces. You got the surrender card here. And the surrender card is this energy of needing to be grounded in trust. Surrender is not giving up. But it is, there was a moment, the best example I can think of off the top of my head is that there was a moment where I was stuck in a space. And I was just like, I need to get out of here. And I tried to force it. I tried to get into this. I mean, the apartment was nothing short of a shack. It was really ridiculous what I was trying to do. But I was at that time feeling so desperate. And I applied that whole city that I applied to. Everyone would have known me by the end of the day. It was aggressive how I went out there. And it yielded nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not when I needed it. And then something else came through there. And I had a different set of lessons, but I had to learn to stop. I was like, you know what? Nothing is happening. So I just need to be still. And then it wasn't like I just gave up. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to doing my readings. I'm going to go back to doing some self-care, get back to sleeping. Like, there's no sense in stressing. And then things just kind of fell together. And it wasn't it wasn't necessarily the prettiest thing, but things got to where I wanted them to be, and even better than I had expected. So I'm in this space now. Things are where, and it just came from sometimes, again, just taking some time and just relaxing, connecting with Source, getting these intuitive downloads each day. Like, what do I need? Like, what feels right for me today? Where do I need to put my energies into? Okay, let's go here today. And it'll all start to come together there, Pisces. So I do feel like, whenever it feels like the answers aren't there, just everything is all within there, Pisces. We just have to be inquisitive. We just have to ask ourselves. And sometimes you get answers in. I've found that I get answers, and that's been interesting. I'll get answers in when I start doing yoga, because before that was just something I did to just keep the body from being stiff. But now sometimes if I have something I'm reflecting on, it's just like, why was I feeling this way? So, something to think about there, Pisces, but you stay safe out there. And relax a little bit. Get in touch with spirit, and then manifest what you're, work together with Source as far as what are these achievements about to be? What are you getting ready to get completed there, Pisces? Raise your vibration through the roof, to the moon. High Priestess, let's see, depending on when this is coming out, you know, we got that new moon that's happening today. Is it today? No, tomorrow. So, you know, set an intention there, Pisces. You know, what do you want? What do you have planned for the future? What are some groups we may need to let go? What are some ways that we've been surrendering our individuality? Think about that. And I will catch you on the next one. Later.